What's up everyone, my name is Gary, and in this video we're exploring the vast beauty of the Mississippi River from the rocks of Grand Tower to a unique conservation area that is full of natural beauty. Along the way we'll visit some interesting places and get buzzed by the local wildlife. Our first stop is just northwest of Grand Tower, Illinois, near Devil's Backbone Park. I timed my visit during an historic drought which allowed me to observe our destination to its fullest potential. I had come to explore the scenic Devil's Bake Oven. The Bake Oven is steeped in history, giving the first European explorers a prominent landmark to identify on their journey. It also gave pirates and criminals a staging area to loot and pillage unsuspecting river travelers. Today the Bake Oven is often overlooked because normal water levels obscure some of its best natural features. But today is not one of those days. This is the first arch that we'll be going to today, and there's another one at the top. This one is usually underwater, so this is rare to see this one quite like this. Yeah, this is cool. There are also other cool things located inside the rock. Okay, this is our first look at fossils in this rock. So hopefully we can find some more as we go along. There are definitely fossils in this rock. Really small. Right there. Here's one. As I continue around the Bake Oven, I head up and over the slanted landscape. On the northern side of the rock, the Mississippi opens up and looks out on a former power plant which closed in 2020. Making my way to the top, stories of forgotten love, death, and present hauntings are told. What remains, though, is this. Look at this foundation. Right here is a really good preserved foundation. Oh, what do we got here? So we got river views on this side, so I assume at one time this was all cleared off where they could enjoy that view a little bit. At the very top, you can look out over the most prominent structure in view. Opened in 1955, this over 2,000 foot long pipeline transports natural gas from Corpus Christi, Texas, all the way to Chicago and beyond. You can also view Tower Rock from here, which is another historic landmark of the area. Although this rock is just across the river, to access it, you must drive an hour and 20 minutes to the Missouri side of the river. The first European explorer to write about Tower Rock was Father Marquette. In 1673, it is said he placed a cross on top of the rock and called it the Rock of the Cross. In 1803, Lewis and Clark passed by on their way to explore the West. In the late 1800s, the tower was slated to be destroyed, but President Ulysses S. Grant saved it from being blasted. Today, the state of Missouri continues to protect this natural landmark for us to enjoy. When the river's in drought and the water levels are low, one can venture out to the rock and get close to the ancient Bailey limestone. Back on the Illinois side, there is one last natural feature to explore on the Bake Oven. I think you can see it over to the right-hand side there. Oh yeah, opens up a little bit. Oh yeah, right there it is. But isn't this beautiful? This is the top arch. The bottom arch is usually underwater, but this one, I don't think ever has been underwater. This is really high up here. A lot of graffiti, so it's being abused, which is sad. What a really cool double arch. Very slanty. I mean, look at the angle of this thing. The whole rock is angled that way. As I finished exploring the Bake Oven, I turned my sights to Devil's Backbone. Less than a year ago, I extensively explored this impressive spine of rock. This former island overlooks Grand Tower and is rich in geological history. At its base rest the remains of iron coke ovens that were used in manufacturing in the late 1800s. As I leave Grand Tower to head to the next site, I take the Levee Road just south of town to see an interesting geographical oddity. What appears to be a lake at first sight, it is actually a former channel of the Mississippi River. A photo recon from 1938 shows a free-flowing river before the levees were built. Also of note is that today when you drive to Levee, you are leaving Illinois and traveling to Missouri for a short distance without ever needing to cross a bridge. Our next stop is Horseshoe Lake Conservation Area, located just south of Grand Tower near the town of Olive Branch. Purchased by the state of Illinois in 1927, this conservation area started out as only 49 acres, which was used for a Canadian Goose sanctuary. When this area was purchased, it more resembled a wetland. But that changed in 1939 with the construction of a concrete dam on the southern end. This is what makes this still a lake. There is a dam system here. Now the lake maintains a maximum depth of 46 feet and has a sprawling shoreline of over 20 miles. Pretty neat little gate system here, lock system they got going on. Allows the water to go over, but they can let water out if they need to by these gates. This area's meager beginning of 49 acres has now expanded to over 10,000 acres, which includes the 2,400 acre lake. This lake is now a wildlife sanctuary for migratory waterfowl and is home to such birds as the massive trumpeter swan, blue morph geese, skies full of snow geese, and thousands of mallards. All take over this area during the winter months. The hypnotic rhythm of birds keeps one's neck stretched to the sky. Although there are no open trails in the area, there are some opportunities to explore via the nature preserves and the edges of the lake. Bald knob cypress dominate the scenery and make one feel like they have stepped back in time. If you have the opportunity, slow down and take in the surroundings. During a recent drought, I had the opportunity to visit a portion of the conservation area that is not impounded by the dam. The rustic hues of fall tinted the landscape with a beautiful carpet of cypress needles. Traversing the cracked earth gave witness to the lack of moisture. The landscape felt alien and reminded me of a broken jigsaw puzzle that had been forgotten by time. Large mussel shells littered the ground, along with the remains of former life, but all was not lost. New life was popping up in this extreme environment. I decided to make it a small side project to come back when the rains fell to observe how it transformed this environment. That day came about a month and a half later. Portions of thin ice lined the shoreline, reflecting the ancient trees, creating a natural work of art that rivaled any art museum. Several days before my arrival, a soaking rain had saturated the land. But oddly, it was not enough rainfall to release the land from its severe drought. The earth was still cracked and the ground was firm enough to explore the forest. I knew that this would not be my last time to come back here. Less than 10 days later, a hard freeze and snow settled into the area. The landscape was now a winter wonderland, and with temperatures dipping below zero, what little water was there was completely frozen. Although I had become familiar with the area, I would never recommend walking on ice without knowing the thickness of it. Any miscalculation could be deadly. 3 months from my initial visit during the drought, the land was once again filled with water. This completed the cycle and obscured the once alien landscape until the rain fails to fall and once again reveals a world of extremes. Our final stop takes us just north of Karnak to a small pull-off that leads to a remarkable swamp area called Section 8 Woods. A boardwalk leads one into the wetland to observe this area, which has been dedicated as an Illinois nature preserve which protects this and its inhabitants in its natural condition. My visit coincided with a recent drought, which allowed me to leave the boardwalk and explore the Tupelo forest more in depth. Okay, so this is a Tupelo. This is not a cypress. I don't think I've been in one of these before where it's been opened up on the inside. So this is very close to the water's edge. So I want to be careful in here because there could be snakes in here. I don't think there's any snakes. Well, it does look like there's something been coming in and out of here. Oh yeah, it's really muddy in here. Oh, look at that. It has a hole at the top. So I'm gonna turn this off. Oh yeah, so we can see just the almost twisted tunnel. That is cool. We can see that hole that was from the other side. Like I said, we've got swamp here. Looks like some good stuff over there, but I can't get across. Yeah, we'll try to go over to that one because it's got a hole in it. We'll just kind of make our way through here and see if we can find any. So this one has a hole, but it is underwater. I saw something move in it before I got my light out. There might be a frog or something of that nature in there. And this is also a Tupelo. It's got another entrance here. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, this one's neat because it's got another branch coming off. Goes out to 3 different trunks. We count this one, this would be 4th. Okay, this is sadly the remnants of the state champion Tupelo tree. I think it said it fell over during a windstorm. I can't remember what date it says, so I'll put that down there. It may have been 2020. But you could see right here the circumference of this tree. It just took a good wind and it fell over. If your visit is timed right, there are several interesting trees that you can explore. As my time comes to an end exploring the southern portion of Illinois, I think back to all the beautiful scenery I have encountered. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and like.